All right, we are now being joined by Brandon Girtz. Reminder, if you have a question, please click the raise hand function. We'll begin now with Jay Anderson. Jay, your line is now live.
Hey, Brandon. Welcome back. First of all, I just want to ask you about the transition down to featherweight here. How are you feeling now that we're in fight week and we're closer to it?
I feel great. You know, it's I'm no stranger to cutting weight. You know, I wrestled for years, and that's what I did. It's kind of why I never did in fighting. But it's a process I'm used to, man. It's a sacrifice and dedication. It's the exact edge I've wanted and I've been missing for a little bit. You know, I got to be on point on everything right now, and it's good. It gives me a little edge.
And for our first opponent here, Henry Corrales, we know what both of you guys bring, and I asked him about it. He says he's excited. He did know that you called him out. What are your thoughts on the matchup?
I'm gonna love it. That's it's actually the fight I asked for. When we first knew we were gonna go down to 45, we looked at the roster. I said, who's one of the toughest, grittiest guys at 45, and this was the guy that they came up with. And this is the fight I want. I want to go in there. I want someone to come forward. I want someone that wants to take my head off just as bad as I want to take his off.
I love it. Looking forward to it.
Steve Julian.
Thank you, Brandon. I appreciate the time today. I got two questions for you. First, we talked right before the Miles Jury fight in February, and obviously in the last 8 months, the world's turned upside down. So how has that affected you physically and mentally as a fighter?
You know, it hasn't been so bad for me. I'm kind of a homebody. I'm an outdoor person, and physically, mentally, physically, it changed a little bit because I wasn't going to the gym. AKA, what kind of started me down at this trip to 45. You know, not putting the weights up anymore. I got a little smaller, and so physically it did that. But mentally, it's been a little bit of awakening in things. You know, it gave me time to focus more on my mental and my mentality and everything, and I've taken it and I've used it as an advantage, really. Kind of, like I said, got that mental growth throughout the time and just kind of evaluated myself, and here we are, man. I'm more excited than ever to be here, and I feel great.
Awesome. And I know you're feeling great going into this fight, and you said the weight hasn't been a problem, but I do wonder what kind of power you're expecting to have at 145. Is it going to be the same as all your classic battles at 155? That
doesn't feel like it's changed, man. Everybody I train with is the same. I feel everybody I train with is bigger. They're strong, and I don't feel like my strength has changed. When I hit the pads, I still crack. I think I'm bringing that same power down to these little guys at 45, and that's what I don't think they're going to be able to handle. I don't think there's anybody as powerful as me at 45 in Bellator, and definitely they're not going to have the strength and power that I bring.
Donna?
Brandon, how's it going? Are you completely finished with 155 at this point?
I wouldn't say that. You know, it depends on what opportunities come in life. I don't close my doors on anything, you know, if there's a great opportunity. But right now, 45 is where I want to stay. You know, I'm really looking to make a run at it. I feel great. I ain't killing myself. You know, I'm about 52 and a half right now. I'm working hard to get here. I've done everything I need to do, you know, as being clean eating, working, you know, cardio, everything I need to do, the correct stuff I've been doing, and I've been loving it. There's been no hate about it. My mental side has been perfect. That's been making it easy. So right now, do I see 55? No, you know, and especially since, you know, I've gone down now. The 55ers are a little bigger now than me, but they always were. You know, that's kind of the thing. I was always a little on the small side at 55. So 45 is my home right now. You know, until that next opportunity comes, that 55 makes sense, and I'm not saying it won't, you know, but until then, 45 is where I'm going to be at.
Yeah, I ask because I've always harbored ambitions of one day getting to see that cursed fight that never happened with Paul Redmond. I understand that he pulled out with the injury that time, and then you got a rematch, or you got a rescheduled fight, and then you pulled out with an injury. And I had always kind of hoped that fight would one day happen. Do you think that's possible or no?
I would like to, because I would like to fight in Ireland someday. I think that would be that'd be a great fight. If I'm mistaken, I feel like he fought at, I don't know, maybe he fought at 45 at some time. But again, opportunity knocks.
Yeah.
You know, I would be about it. And 55 is definitely not a closed door. And if I, you know, travel over to Ireland to fight him, that, you know, I would go back up to 55. I think that'd be a fun little adventure. And I still have aspirations to go over to Ireland and fight, you know, in front of an Irish crowd. And so that door is definitely cracked open.
Thank you, buddy.
Lenny March.
How's it going, Brandon? How are you?
I'm great, brother. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. So you mentioned earlier, you quoted these little guys. Did that give you more like persuasion to move down because you're going to have the reach advantage, the size advantage, I presume? And when you come into fight night, you're probably going to have the weight advantage over these 145ers.
Absolutely, man. It changes it up a little bit, you know. I do look at them as little guys. You know, I've been fighting 55. I've also fought in 70 a few times. And every time I fought, and usually these guys are bigger, especially when we step in the cage. Most fights, I step in the cage around 160, 162. And most of these guys are stepping in way above that, you know. So when I come in at 45, I'm expecting to step in about that same 160, 162 area, you know. For once, I'm going to be the bigger, heavier guy out there, and you'll see a big change in that and how I'm able to use that weight.
Yeah, last question from me. You also mentioned crowds, the Irish crowds. Talking about that, the fight this weekend, you won't have any crowd. Do you reckon that will play a little bit of a factor in this fight?
I do, but it'll play a great factor for me. You know, I don't need a crowd to fight. I love this. You know, to me, it will be more intimate. You're going to hear every crack I throw out there. You know, I'm looking to put my hands on this dude, and I'm looking to hurt him, and you're going to hear it, and I'm going to hear it. Everybody's going to hear it, and that's what's going to excite me. You know, I don't need the crowd to pump me up. I'm about this life. You know, so there's no cheerleading needed for me, but like you said about the Irish crowd, I go out there because I want that atmosphere, to see it and be out there in a crowd like that. That's cool, you know. But do I need it to go out there and to be fired up to take this man out? Absolutely not.
Thank you very much for the time, Brandon. Good luck this week.
Thank you.